Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. Today I am doing my January layout for the Beautiful Blossoms design team, and I will have a link to their blog in the description box below. And we focus on all things floral. And so today I am focusing on poinsettias. Even though it's holly that's in my photo, I feel like the colors of this collection work with the photo. I almost used the wreath, which would have been pretty too, but I settled on this one. And you can see I have pulled 4 colors of Distress Oxide over there, and I have this Sizzix / 49 and Market stamp and die set that I had been watching for quite a while on Amazon, and when the price dropped, I went ahead and bought it. That was probably about 6 weeks ago or so, and I haven't used it yet. And since I don't have anything that goes with this collection, I only have the paper, I decided to use these to create some embellishments. And so the 4 colors I have there are Broken China, Cracked Pistachio, Rustic Wilderness, and Evergreen Bough. And so there are 2 stamps that work together that you cut out with the die that you see there on my left. And so I experimented with just some different combinations of the 3 lighter colors, and then I used the Rustic Wilderness with the outline stamp. And these are so pretty, and they're pretty even without the outline stamp, but it really does add a lot. So I did some that were more green and some that were more blue, and I don't have you watch all of this, but here's where I'm adding the outline with Rustic Wilderness. And then I use the die to cut them out. And I'm really happy with them. I am so glad that I bought this stamp set. I'm going to challenge myself to use it once a month, at least for the next 3 or 4 months, so that I get some good use out of it. And I think it would make a pretty card front as well, so I'll probably do that too. So here's all the greens and blues. I also stamped some of the smaller leaves, and when I bought the die set, I thought there were actually dies for the smaller leaves. There are not, but they are relatively simple to cut out. Here I'm just inking the edges of this with Rustic Wilderness. In the end, you probably can't even tell that I did, but oh well. And then I decided I wanted some red at the top as well. So I took one of the pieces of paper that the B side is a pretty much solid red. Oops, I'm wrong. That's later. Here is where I decided I want to use this 12 by 12 stencil that I bought a little while ago. I believe it's from Scrapping Reflections. I'll have a link in the description box below. And it's kind of funny, after I got this stencil, I realized I also have it in 6x6. So I must really like this type of stencil because I bought the same thing in 2 sizes and didn't even know it. So I used my pixie spray on the back just to hold it down a little bit, and I am just working with some white texture paste to create a frame. I guess you could loosely call it a frame around the bluish green part of this background paper. And I used some scrap white to create a mask, you can see, so that I'm only making a frame. I'm not adding more texture paste than that one row and column around. And I don't have you watch it all because I had to let this dry and then do it in parts, but here you can see the finished frame. And here's the picture I'm doing. This is of another quilted wall hanging that I have from my mom. I did one last month of a snowman, and I wanted to get this one done too. And the real wall hanging has a black cloth around the edges, but it didn't show up well in the photographs because it is pretty worn. This is an old wall hanging. And so I just created a little frame around it with black paper. I do wish I had made that photo mat a little bit bigger, which I could do later. I could pull it off. It wouldn't be too hard. And make a bigger one. And here I'm just fiddling with the red and white, or I'm sorry, red and greenish, green and blue leaves that I created. You can see there that I used a white gel pen that my sister sent me to add a little bit of detail to the red. I tried, I inked them up with early espresso to create the, the edge around them, the outline, but it didn't show up very well. I don't know if my ink is getting dried out or if I should just use a black, but I decided they needed some detail and I wanted it to be lighter rather than darker. So I just used the white gel pen. Now I'm pulling out Cocoa Vanilla Storyteller titles and some rub-ons. These are not from this collection. The rub-ons are from 49 and Market, Color Swatch, Blossom color. And they do work here. So I am adding the photo on. I wanted it right in the center going left to right. I wasn't picky about where it was top to bottom, but I did want it perfectly centered left to right. So again, these are titles from Cocoa Vanilla Storyteller collection. They are foam, so they have a nice thick presence on the page. I like that they complement the black in the actual wall hanging and the mat that I created for around it. I love these titles, but I do struggle because once I pull them off the acetate, I feel like I don't always get them on the paper the same way they were on the acetate. You'll see in a moment that I use my scissors to kind of coax some of the foam to one side or the other to get them a little bit straighter. And I end up fussing with this title for longer than I expected. But I'm really happy with how it looks in the end. And I do add a rub-on in a moment to add to the title, which you'll see. But here you can watch, I'm just really fiddling with these letters. I'm still not completely happy with the O and the M. I might pull those off and add a little bit of liquid adhesive and get them to look a little bit straighter because it kind of bothers me that they're crooked. But there, I'm done with that for now. And I am going to add these rub-ons, even though they're from the Blossom collection, which is a pink one. Some of them are dark enough pink that they go really nicely with the flowers at the bottom of this page. And I wanted something other than just my die cuts on here as an embellishment. And I didn't really have anything else to go with it, so this is what I ended up doing. And they do look really nice. I tucked one under the T there. I didn't have you watch them all because it did take quite a while. This is still part of that Blossom Rub-Ons collection, and I am cutting out the word treasure, and I am adding that just above the title. So now the title becomes Treasure from the Heart. You can see that I added one black foam heart there with the title, and later you will see that I add one in the journaling box that's going to be below the photograph, and I like how that balances each other out. So now it's time for journaling. This piece of paper, it looks white on screen, but it's actually a rectangle I cut out from one of the papers in the collection. So it has a little bit of pattern to it, but it's very subtle. And I'm going to do some writing on there just with my favorite size Pigma ink pen. I think that's what it's called. They're from Sakura, if I remember right, but it's what I use for most of my journaling. It's a size 0.05. I find the 0.08 a little too thick and the 0.01 a little too small. So this is the one that I use the most. Then I realized on the rub-on page is some stuff that looks like stitching, and I thought that is perfect. That's the perfect addition to this little journaling box. And so I just write on it, "Isn't this beautiful? Mom made so many lovely quilts, and this one brings me joy every year when I pull it out of the box of Christmas decorations." And that would bring her joy too. And I thought for a while about what to write. Originally, I thought I might do some more, but I decided this is what I wanted to say. And when we decorated this time, I hung up my snowman quilt for Christmas 2024, but I did not yet hang up the joy one as I'm doing this voiceover in December, so I'm gonna have to look at my boxes again and pull it out and get it on the wall. I usually hang it in my dining room during the holidays. And the snowman quilt that I did the other day, my sister says Mom made at least 6 of them and gave to different family members. I don't know if she made more than one of these or not. So Nancy, if you're watching, maybe you can tell me. So there, I'm just about done with my journaling and done with the page. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm grateful for those who watch my videos. I'm so happy that you're here. I love it when you comment and give me a little bit of feedback. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you do so. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.